Right, with that, just note that the meeting minutes were sent from the last meeting. If you attended and you have any comments on those, you can give those to Lori. You can make an update in the minutes. And just a reminder that all of our stakeholder public meetings are posted on our website. And you can join the meeting from there. You can also see an archive of previous meetings and recordings. So take advantage of that when you can't join the meeting in person. Please. And that's all I have for the moment. So maybe we can move over to you, Riley, for letting updates.
All right, thank you. I don't have too much here. We just had our January letting last week. I think we had 25 proposals that we plan on awarding shortly. Then we also had that same day advertised for our February letting. I believe we posted 38 proposals for bid. Just wanted to make a note out of one of those February proposals. It does have Wisconsin DNR funding regarding the sanitary work that's taking place. That work does have a DBE requirement that's specific to that sanitary work. So you'll need to find the DBE requirement or percentage that work requires, and then that in turn can be used towards your overall DBE requirement that is assigned by WSDOT. We can discuss that more at that virtual meeting that you're planning on having prior to the letting. Couple other things is that we do have an ASP6 update that will get added by addendum for the February letting. And then it will also get be a regular insertion in our proposal starting with the March letting.
Can you remind us of what ASP6 covers?
That's the standard spec updates. We had an additional one, we had one for January as well, and now this is adding on a little more information. I think it's related to references to the construction materials manual, some of that information. We also need to update the Buy America information. We found a couple missing pieces of that on the DOT contracting information website. We'll get that updated this week as well. I think that's about it. Just want to also point out that we do have some building contracts coming up, quite a few in the next couple of years. And by that, I mean way stations, rest areas, salt sheds, where it might not be that traditional roadway contractor work. So we're working with Federal Highways to look at more avenues to bring in more contractors that might be bidding as building contractors. And they, of course, will need to meet those DBE goals as well. So we're hoping to get that information out a little bit earlier to bring those folks in, and if they need to get pre-qualified, and then need help finding the DBE component to their work as well. I think that's it. I will be at the WTBA CE conference on Friday. I will be giving a short presentation on ongoings and what things look like this past year. So I look forward to meeting anyone that's up there.
Great.
That's all I had.
Thank you, Riley. Good points about things that we're looking at moving forward. And I think, I'm not sure if we have anybody from NANAC on the line yet, but they do have many members, DBEs, who focus on vertical construction. So this will be a good opportunity to keep them in the loop and have them try to help us get the word out, because it's possible they could prime some of these projects even. So, okay, thank you for that. Any questions for Riley? Okay, well then, why don't we move forward into talking about uniform reports in the closeout of federal fiscal year 23, and we'll briefly share some updates here for you. And looking at how we look for federal fiscal year 2022 versus 2023. And I hope you'll be able to see this. I did put it into the folder.
You're not
It's, you can't, you're not seeing? You guys don't see my screen? Does anyone see my share? No? Quiet group today. All right.
No.
well, let me
It's not showing, Madeline.
try again. It says I'm
No,
sharing
we're just see the video.
video. Okay.
There we go.
Now do you see?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. All right, so we are looking at our achievement. This is very simple overview. So federal fiscal year 2022, we closed out with 139 million in commitments to DVEs. And you can see the various demographic breakdown here, which is represented here in the pie chart. So we were at 56%, right around there for non-minority. Just gonna work from the bottom up. Subcontinent Asian American was 1.66%, which actually had been up almost 1% from the year before. Asian Pacific American at 8.3%, Native American at almost 14% last year, Hispanic American 11.3%, and Black American at 8.2%. The total commitments. Payments are different, but we're looking at commitments here. And so then when we look at our total for this year, we can see working from the bottom up, again, non-minority, now still the biggest slice, but a smaller slice. And we've seen this happen pretty consistently. Last 3 years, we were, 60-ish%, I would say, for about 10 years in non-minority participation. Last year, 56, this year, 45. So we're moving in the direction of spreading the contracts amongst the various groups within the DD program. 4%-ish to subcontinent Asian Americans. So you can see that number continues to grow. Asian Pacific American continues to grow. Native Americans have less in this last year's commitments than before. So coming in around 6.5%. Hispanic American was the that really grew quite a lot at almost 22%. And Black American then down about 1%-ish from the previous year. So this is how we look when you see a comparison last year to the year before to federal fiscal 2023, and now we are in 2024, which Benji will talk about as well. I have another chart that I'm not sure, I didn't put it on here, so if I can pull it up while she's talking, I will, because I do want to share one other perspective with you, how our overall DV spend looks in the context of all of the contracts that have federal funds for highways. Okay. Ready? Yes, it is.
Okay, what should be popping up on the screen?
Wait, you won't see me, do you?
Okay, yeah, there we go. All right, so what's This is including, figures for the first part of our federal fiscal year of 2024. We did not have an October let, so this is through the January letting. Our modifications are through the middle of December as we're waiting on closeouts and getting information in from our clients and their subcontractors. And our consultant figures are through the end of the year. As you know, our goal, our triennial goal that we have out there right now is 12.42%. And Fed funds for construction and consulting right now is 335 million, almost 335.1. Commitments on our consulting side is just shy of $1 million. DBE commitments with a few of the modifications that have been processed is at 28.1 million. And our total consultant and construction commitments year to date is 29 point, almost $1 million. So right now our overall DB attainment is 8.96% for the first few months that we've had lets and a little bit of our modifications that we put through. At construction let, we come in at 28.1 million. Now we have just under $1 million, as I said, for contract modifications after contract execution and giving us the 29.1 million in DB commitment thus far. We're anticipating that we'll have around between 910 and 895, somewhere around there in our anticipated federal fundings. Again, as you all know, that these funds do fluctuate from month to month. So as you see these numbers in the next meeting, it may not be the same for anticipated funds. And that's why, excuse me. And again, all numbers are subject to change monthly, determined by lettings and DBE commitment modifications, as well as the allocation of funds. So that's where we're sitting right now. We're about 3.5% below our target goal for the end of the year. And then for the utilization, just a quick breakdown of what we're looking at as far as commitment modifications after the contract has been executed. It's a little better for you to see. This is just through December 18th. The next update, as shown here, will be through the end of January. But right now we had 477 requested. We've got about 50 to 75 to review. We're processing over 300, almost 400 right now. We don't have any to sign and we're still working. 49 have been approved as of this date. And so as you can see, this is how we get our figure of 984,977. So we're getting better and we do appreciate everybody's efforts and what they're doing as far as getting in those after contract increases and modifications after contract execution.
Thanks, Benji. So I'll just note again, in case anyone feels alarmed, we look for about 7% to come in through our assigned goals. So we are over that at this point. And the additional projections that we still feel solid about are coming from consulting. So we're usually behind a month to 2 months on receiving those reports. So we know there are millions in the consultant contracts that will be coming our way. And we also know that the majority of those after contract execution dollars are going to happen when the new season picks up again. So we are in a good place in terms of what we projected for our assigned. So we're over with the assigned, and then we need to collect that voluntary as it comes in. And, you know, we pay attention along the way. So if an adjustment needs to be made on what we assign, then that will happen. So you may end up seeing more goals going into consulting, for instance. We do know that with some of the bigger firms, the consultant side having left the program. And good on them, right? That's what we want to see happening. Get big, you're successful, you don't need the help of the DBE program anymore, and industry wants to work with you. And so those are success stories. And they create other opportunities for other firms. And so we pay attention to that as we plan and set our goals and adjust as needed. So as you hear Benji month to month give those updates, just keep in mind that you'll see that number getting higher and closer to the 12.42 as we are getting more of our consultant dollars and after contract execution. Okay, any questions for either of us? Seeing any, okay, Kathleen is not here, but she asked me to remind you that we have 2 GFEs total this federal fiscal year 24. So was there one in November and then one this January?
No, we have one more that's coming for January. We have it's has not been reviewed yet.
Right, but those
two
are the
that-
two.
Two that have been
So 2 we have 2 approved.
2 approved, 1
All right, good. So 2 approved, 1 that is in
the
the review process. Okay. So 3, and maybe we'll just hold it 3 for maybe.
Yeah, that sounds great.
We'll see. Single digits are great. So with that, I'm gonna move over to our prime contractor and DBE spotlight. Madeline, welcome, Paul. Madeline, are you ready, my friend? All right, it's working.
See my screen,
Yes,
hopefully.
we see it. And maybe what I will explain here, just in case anyone is also new to this meeting, we, Kathleen, in the bid letting newsletter has asked our primes monthly to, it's voluntary, but if you're interested, put together an overview of a project you worked on with DB participation and share it in our newsletter. And so we're doing that on a monthly basis, but then we thought, it would be great maybe for that month's presenter if we have a Transact meeting to come present with us. So that's what Wallback and Dolan agreed to do. So thank you for being here, and let you move it forward.
Sounds good. Hello, everyone. We are the Wallbeck Group. Today from our presentation, there will be 2 different areas of our company talking. Payne and Dolan South, that will be one company speaking, and then we also have someone from NEA, which is just like our northern sister company that covers the northern half of the state.
We fixed it.
Um,
So sorry.
So, no, you're fine. So today we will be talking about our State Highway 60 project and our State Highway 14 project. We'll be going over those projects, just general overviews, but then specifically diving into the DBE aspects of both of those projects. So I am Madeline. I'm a project manager for Payne and Dolan out of the Milwaukee Waukesha office. We also have Heather Saylor with us. She is a project manager for NEA. She handled the 60 project. And then we have Garrett Peck, and he is a project manager out of our Madison office, and he handled the 14 project. And then during the presentation, we will also have Adam, the owner of Anassa, join us for a little bit. He was a DBE contractor on both projects, and we also have a testimonial quote from George Van Zyl from the Van Zyl Group on the 60 project. Now I will hand it off to Heather to talk about the State Highway 60 NEA project.
Good afternoon. I'll go over State Highway 60. This is an overview picture. State Highway 60 went from Lowell to Hartford, so it started from right around County W, and it went to State Highway 67. So it was 3 phases, 10.5 miles. We milled 5.5 inches off. We did asphalt base stabilization, which is a asphalt injection pulverized material, which you can see on the right-hand side of this picture. Is 2 lifts. We had 13 culvert replacements. 12 of them were in the project. One of them was a change order. We had 2 pipeliners, 1 ADA curb. We change ordered 9 guardrail replacements for the terminals at the end of the project, for a total of 25. With HMA paving and traffic control, obviously finishing up with pavement marking. We had the 3 phases. We changed the phases a little bit during the project just to make it better for traffic, and making sure the testing that had to go with the asphalt base stabilization, with it being a new product for Northeast Asphalt to work with. We partnered with WK on that, but we started with the main line, which was phase 2, followed by closing State Highway 60-67 intersection, which would have originally been stage 1, and then flagging operations for surface. The project was bid at 3.1% DBE for $297,000, around $500. We had 2 big change orders. We were able to keep the commitment. So when the project ended, we ended at 7.2%, which is over $720,000 for DBEs. Our DBE contributions on that project, we had saw cutting by Mid-States, flagging by ANASA, QMP testing was Gestra. We had on-call sweeping. We had the suppliers made a big contribution for that for Hoffacker Construction Services. They provided all of the pipes for our pipe work. And P3 for polymers for the pavement marking, and then multiple trucking contractors. And Van Zyl was our landscaper. So talking to George, he wanted to make a statement, but he did not have time to come. So he said it was a challenging project due to the distance from the main office. This is down by Hustisford. His main office is up in Leona. And he said the weekly erosion control needs were what was the biggest challenge. Bremer and Associates, the engineering firm out there, and Northeast Asphalt were understanding and great to work with. And we'll turn it over to Adam here for anything he has to say on the project.
Yes, from the traffic control side, I believe that, everything went really well. We had 3 employees out there trying to control traffic, and it's not unique to what, these larger, paving projects. Yeah, I have no qualms. Everything was great. The communication, letting us know exactly what's needed, working with between both groups, was spot on. And we had, pretty much, all good marks on this particular project.
Thank you, Adam. Now we will turn it over to Garrett to talk about State Highway 14.
You're muted.
Sorry about that. State Highway 14 was approximately a 6.5 mile section of a bidirectional highway. It started at the Wisconsin River Bridge, dividing Sauk and Iowa County. The project was in Iowa County and ended at Arena. It was the primary item on this project was a 2.5-inch mill and 2.5-inch overlay of the existing roadway. Other items included traffic control, aggregate shouldering, epoxy striping, and rumble strips. The project was let in March of 23 with initial DBE goal of 3%. The project was awarded, the original contract was awarded at roughly $3.8 million and roughly $123,000 to achieve the roughly 3.2% goal. For the initial commitment to DBE, The vendors for the initial commitment included Bullen Transit for the asphalt trucking and milling, P3 Infrastructure as a supplier, on-call sweeping was utilized for project cleanup during the rumble strip operation. And then lastly, a NASA was actually added after post bid. And they helped the final DB goal come in at roughly 250,000 or 6% of the project goal. One thing I wanted to speak to, this is a relatively simplistic project, but one of the biggest hurdles was doing this project at night. It's really quite uncommon to have a rural bi-directional highway to be constructed and under flagging at night. Typically, a lot of the night closures we see are nighttime lane closures, permanent lane closures, behind barrels or, behind temporary wall. This project in particular, the high traffic volumes and the, Wisconsin River crossing kind of negated a viable detour route, therefore kind of forcing the nighttime flagging on a rural highway. We brought Adam on for that purpose with a NASA to handle the flagging services. And first and foremost, we picked Adam. I'd like to mention we picked Adam to do these services, not because he was a DB contractor. Again, we brought him on after the fact because he was well qualified to perform this work safely, and we had a large level of confidence in him and his crews, and quite frankly, they knocked it out of the park. So I guess I'll lead into Adam's bit and like to say I appreciate your work on this project, Adam. I thought you did a fantastic job.
Well, thank you. Thank you for letting us be a part of it. So this one was, like he was saying, was a little unique in that it was, for us, it was our, first foot in the door with Payne and Dolan Wallback Group. This was a big one. It was at night, so there was different elements that we needed to make sure that we had. So first thing was that was there between everybody was the communication, and that's key for success in just about all the facets of the project. But then we made sure that we had lighting stations. We had a couple days into it, I think and Garrett could probably talk about it too, is we needed a crash, or not the crash trailers, but we had a follow car, our pilot car, sorry. So we put that into use, and that really seemed to help out. So it did really, like I said, it was a bigger one for us for getting our foot out there and letting people know that we can do this type of work. Everyone that was on the project enjoyed, the communication between the crews, and yeah, I think it went very well, and I appreciate being a part of it.
Thank you again, Adam. And then we just real quick wanted to touch on that we are a member of the Mentor Protege program. Anassa is our protege in this aspect, started a few years ago with him. And then again, like he mentioned, this summer was the first time we had him in a project, had him on a project, and are looking forward to continue that relationship both in this program, but also professionally on jobs. And then NEA is also part of the program, and they have Melts Industries as their protege.
And I would say that if there's any DBEs out there that are looking to get into that mentor protege program, it helps, and it's a good asset to have. I would definitely dive into it, and they're there to help us and further ourselves in the WISDOT realm. So thank you very much. Appreciate it.
And then that is all we have for this presentation. If anyone has questions, otherwise we can move along in the meeting. I'll stop sharing my screen.
Thank you all. I am going to go to Roz in 1 second, but because you brought up mentor protege, which I had a little note to myself to ask about, thank you for bringing that up. And I'm curious how, and I don't see Adam anymore, but I'm just wondering if he felt like, Adam, if you felt like, that experience helped to open doors for you, or, you know, how it benefited you maybe, and, cause
Yeah.
again, there are other DBs, we do wanna let them know, like, here's how it can help you, even if you know what you're doing in your business, right? You've got the skill to do this, right?
Right.
But how help you?
So I guess from my experience, yes, absolutely. When, if I have a question or need some guidance, it's, you know, it's a different area than what I'm used to. I'm used to the utility sector, which is obviously a little bit smaller, work zone, let's say. It could be, you know, anywhere from a down pole or gas hit or something like that. So the work zones we're used to, are built on, are a little bit smaller. So one of my hesitations in doing some of the larger WISTA projects is making sure, you know, obviously equipment, you know, pricing and all that stuff. There's questions on how to bid, on what avenues to go down to, or, you know, just find out, you know, the little things that you can see pricing or older or previous pricing and all that, which I don't know. But being part of the mentor program, those questions get answered, and they do go out of the way to help you with everything that you need, as far, you know, any questions that you may have, I should say. So yeah, I encourage, you know, everyone to look into it and you know, get on it if you can, get in the program for sure.
Great, yeah, thank you for that, and thank you for your work on 14, you know, that's my drive home. So, thanks for that, take care, and I would see you out there, and I mean, your crew is in the trucks from NASA, and I'd be like,
Yeah.
oh, those are my guys. And Payne Dolan, oh, guys,
No, we
like,
definitely
you know,
appreciate
so
everything that
it felt
Payne and
good.
Dolan and the Walbeck Group has been doing for us. It's, you know,
Honestly, I felt like that job got done pretty fast too. And you know how being on the other side of road construction, you know, as the public, it's like, oh, it's taking forever. But it got done, you know, before the art fair. That's a big deal in Spring Green. So thank you guys. I don't know if you want to add anything else. I see Garrett, you're coming back on there. Yes, sir.
No, I was gonna just butt in and say, I think we got it done in about half of the contract time. So just if anyone's
Okay,
curious.
yeah. It felt like it was quick, and as long as I could be home before 6 p.m., it was not disrupting me at all, so thank you.
and everyone's safe.
Yes, everyone was safe, and safe, so that's important too. Okay, Roz, do you still have your hand up?
No, that was a mistake.
Okay, does anyone else have their hand up? Not seeing any hands. Okay, well, then if we don't have any further questions for our Walbeck NASA crew, thank you all. Madeline, thank you, Heather, thank you, Garrett. Glad you're here, Adam, and of course you are, all of you, always invited to any of our stakeholder meetings, so don't be a stranger to Transact. All right, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Well, our meeting is moving along pretty quickly today. We're at our industry issues and check-ins. And I do see that Ann Mishak hopped on, so we will be able to put her on the spot for AICCW. Ann, are you still here? Do you have anything you'd
Yep.
like to add?
I don't have anything to add right now for AICCW.
Okay, thank you. I'm looking to see if Mary Ferlenza is here, from FHWA. I'm not sure that she was able to join us, so we may not have FHWA updates. That is okay. NAMAC? Is Tim here maybe? Sorry, I'm trying to look through my list. And Tim? No Tim? Okay.
Doesn't look like he's here.
Okay. All right, I'm not seeing Ugo. Okay, NAMAC, send us updates if you have them. Matt Grove, WTBA, what do you have for us? Can we talk about the conference?
No issues. I just did have a question for Riley, but I can ask him later. Just the whole separate goal for the sanitary sewer on that project? And what's the origin of that and what's that all about? But
Yeah, Matt, I actually just sent you an email on your question. It's when these cities apply for these state water drinking grants from the DNR, the DNR does require percentage of that work be either minority or woman participated in terms of the work done, not necessarily the companies or the subcontractors that do the work.
okay, yeah,
So I
yeah.
sent you some-
So that was a different type of project. I couldn't hear that well when I was in the car, so must have been. So it's a grant instead of through the normal program.
The sanitary work, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's actually, this is good to talk about it a little bit anyways, because we will see more projects that have different forms of federal aid on them. And so the DNR, which has a goal here, has a bit of a different process than what WSDOT has. If we're letting it, we are going to focus on the federal funds that come out of FHWA, right? But the contractor can't ignore the DNR piece or Department of Energy or whoever else's federal money is on there. But from what I have seen, and the requirements of the other programs, I'm familiar with DNR and DOE. Those requirements for meeting their minority or women goals are less stringent than what our regulation requires. So as a contractor, if you're still following what you're used to doing for WSDOT, and you're doing that as you submit any documentation, and DNR, for instance, has the contractor provide their solicitations if requested. So you may not even have to submit that documentation. You've just got it on hand. So if you're doing what you need to do for WSDOT, you should be good, DNR. Always though check with whoever the project manager is on this, because they'll have a more finger on the pulse of any changes that may have taken place in the regulations that either the DNR or DOE, wherever the money's coming from. But we will see more of this because various federal agencies have money related to infrastructure that they're putting in at different levels, and we want to help municipalities take advantage of that as much as possible. But we have to work together to figure out exactly how that funding works. So yes, so more to come on that, but good question, and keep asking questions about it because you'll see it more frequently.
Okay, thanks.
Sure thing. Okay, where are we at? Construction Business Group. Joe, oh wait, just wait, hang on one second, because Matt, what I did want to point out, and people can see on the agenda though, is that WTDA's conference, contractors and engineers, right? Conference this Friday, Thursday and Friday. Riley mentioned he will be presenting there. I will be presenting along with Maggie from our compliance team, who will give a labor update, and Joe Davis, who is going to give an update now from CDG. So hope to see as many of you there as can go. It's
Yeah, we're sitting at about we're sitting at an attendance of about 700, but and registration's officially closed. But if anyone's interested, just get a hold of me and we'll make it happen.
Thanks, Matt. Yeah, I know. I've just invited you all. I hope you're already registered, but if not, talk to my friend Matt. Okay, yes, thank you, sir, and Joe Davis.
Good afternoon, everybody. Construction Business Group is excited to let the committee know that we'll be hosting tribal leadership up at our training school with Operating Engineers Local 139. It's the first time that we've actually reached out to Northern Wisconsin and the tribal nations, and I got to give a big shout out to Christy Jackson that really helped us out from WSDOT in connection with Madeleine and the DBE program. We have 4 tribes that will actually be attending: Oneida, Potawatomi, the Mole Lake Chippewa, and also Ho-Chunk. The chairman will actually be there in a roundtable discussion with our leadership here from the Construction Business Group, which is Terry McGowan, the president and business manager for Local 139 out of Pewaukee. Rob Call, the executive director from the Construction Business Group, and Dan Spurberg, which is the training director from the Operating Engineers Local 139. Those who have not been to our training school, it's on 400 acres of pretty nice land. I think we have a 139er already in the meeting in Benji Heights. And, you know, we're proud of what we do because this is the heart and the soul as far as capacity building, not only in the workforce, but those are the ones that actually become DBEs. And that's where we've been very intentional in what we do. And so the tribal community has sought a partnership for the first time to come up and see our training school. And I think that that's going to yield a lot more opportunities for us to meet or exceed those goals in northern Wisconsin. Big shout out to Adam Skinador. He's always, you know, we always have conversations offline, and I was very grateful and blessed to actually see him grow from a six-figure company all the way to multi-million-dollar company. So keep up the good work, Adam. A lot of people are watching you in this space. The other thing I need to do is I need to give out a very humble shout out to Sarah Janice and Kyle. We've been having some conversations from Integrity, Grading and Excavating. We've been having some discussion. They approached me at the WEDC Marketplace Conference and really talked about this issue about training for DBEs. And they stepped up to the plate and gave me an idea. And I took it to the leadership of CBG and also our training center. And it looks like it's going to bear some fruit. And so I just want to thank Integrity, Grading and Excavating for stepping up to the plate to make sure that we are able to train these ready, willing, and able DBEs, subcontractors, to start doing some performance on some of these contracts. So I can go, we still got a lot more to report, but I'll just leave it short like that. And those are the highlights that I really wanted to share with the committee. Thanks, Madalena. And say it ain't so.
Thank you. Thank you, Joe. I am gonna say it is so though. And that is that my last day at WSDOT is January 22nd, which is next Monday. So I know the message has been moving around, but I wanted to be able to tell you all myself to the extent that I can, and just to appreciate everything you've done and all of our work together, because you know, we've really created great relationships. It's taken the entire team and all of industry that's worked together to support small business growth, development, DB program to get to where it is right now, and something that we can all be really proud of. So I thank you all. I am gonna let you all say something still if you have any items to add to the meeting, but I just wanted to make sure got that out before we ran out of time. So big thank you to you. And now we're going. So 414, John Zignago, anything to add?
No, I thought Matt's question was a good question just because we've never seen that before. But more importantly, I think we're all going to miss you, Madalena, and thanks for the leadership you've given the group here. And the program's obviously proven itself that in the time that in your tenure, it's, look where we were talking about 5 years ago, or whenever you first started 5-7 years ago, to what we're talking about now. And congratulations to not just you, but your team and everyone that's a part of it. And we're going to miss you selfishly, but hopefully you're off to better and bigger things. Going to miss you.
Thank you. Thanks, John. Yeah, I will miss working with you all too. And you're definitely a contributor to the great place this program is at. So thank you, and Zignago Company too, and your uncle, who we all love and still miss, but he sure, you have stepped into his shoes very well. So thank you. All right, 608-443 number. Are you ready to talk to us? Nope. Okay. How about 847-770? Hello?
It's Harbin.
Arvin!
We'll miss you. We're gonna miss you. Stay in
Aw.
touch.
I miss you too, Chica, but I will stay in touch. For sure. Harvard is it
I
saying?
got nothing.
Oh, no. Well, thanks for joining the meeting. Adam, any comments or questions you would like to add?
No, I think this is a great thing to be a part of. I appreciate it. I appreciate you and meeting you and everything that you've done for me since the start. And I wish you good luck wherever your endeavor takes you.
It has been a pleasure. Thank you. And please do continue to attend these meetings. And I think you get information you aren't going to get anywhere else. It's really the opportunity for DDEs to get their voice out there and be heard. So thanks for being here, and when it works for your schedule, if you do come again. Okay, Anne, any comments? I know you don't have AICCW, but do you have any DBE, Aerocrete related comments?
Nope, not really, just that we're gonna miss you.
Thanks, keep doing good work. Brent, Ed Kramer, comments or questions?
No. Sad to see you go, and my feelings are exactly the same as John. So appreciate everything that you've done for the industry, for everyone in this meeting, Madalena.
Thank you. Thanks for being willing to drive me around in your truck to see the things that I need to learn about. Appreciate that.
Happy to do it.
Thanks. Well, I mean, we're still only a few miles away, so I might have to come and ask for favors to see various projects as they progress.
Sounds good.
Okay. Garrett, anything else you would like to add? Or questions?
No, I'll mirror everyone else's comments. Thanks for everything you've done, Madalena. Sad to see you go. And best of luck in the future.
Thanks very much. I am confident our paths will cross as we move forward. And certainly I will see as many of you as I can on Thursday or Friday. So thank you for all the support. Lori, comments or questions?
I don't have anything.
Okay.
Oh,
Angie?
just a question to the presenters, if they don't mind if I share a link to their presentation on the minutes report. That would be a question.
No problem on my end.
Okay, from the Wildbeck Group. Thank you.
Yep.
Great. Okay. Thank you for confirming. Benji, questions, comments?
No.
Okay. Heather, any comments or questions?
Nope, just good luck in the future, and hopefully we'll see you this week here.
Great. Thank you. Thanks for presenting today. Joe Davis, anything you would like to add?
Just, it's been a pleasure. I mean, since I've been here at CBG and started up this Disadvantaged Business Enterprise Development Initiative, you've been a partner, and you are a true advocate of those who are subcontractors that have the DBE certification. And I'm just hoping that the next person who steps in that line becomes that type of advocate so that we can continue to achieve these particular goals and build the next generation of road builders. So thank you for your advocacy, but thank you for your tenacity on taking on the status quo.
Thank you, Joe, and thanks for being a wonderful partner as we have grown and moved along. So I know the next DB program leader will count on that relationship to continue as well. So thank you. Laura Finley at OES, any comments or questions?
Nope, nothing for today. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Madeline, anything else you want to add?
No, besides what everyone else is saying. You've done
Yeah.
amazing and we appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much. And thank you for being such an advocate for our mentor protege program too. That's really important. getting DBs engaged, I think helps them take that next step. So thanks for supporting that Wellbeck Group as a whole. Matt Grove, anything you would like to add?
Yeah, Madalena, just, I don't have any questions or technical, just thank you. Echoing what everyone else said, been at this together for a number of years, and I think we all know where we started out and some significant changes, and made it happen, and you made it work, and everyone has a lot of good things to say about the program, and best of luck moving forward.
Thanks so much, and thanks. for
And thank you
partnership.
and thank you for your participation in our conference every year and at our board meetings at times and things like that. It's extremely helpful for industry. So really appreciate everything you and your group does.
Well, thank you. And I think, you know, it's a testament to the team and to industry who sincerely supports the growth of the DB program and steps up every time asked. And I know that will be important to Wistotz's leadership to continue those relationships, because our businesses, our small businesses benefit, and as does industry as a whole when we have more businesses that can do good work and contribute to industry, and that benefits all of us. So thank you for that. Matt, Mike, Nate, any comments or questions?
No, not really. Appreciate all that you've done for everyone, and you've been a great asset and always been helpful, and sorry to see you go. And also thanks to the Wellbeck Group for a nice presentation. Always great to see what everybody else is doing.
Yes, yeah, thank you. Thanks for that. And Ijoma, comments or questions?
Not a comment, just a reminder. Please, if you haven't used the eSubmit system before, I would encourage you to go to the website. The instructions are there. Send your WEMS ID to the DB mailbox, so access will be granted to you. Try testing the system a day before the letting. And also, I also want to remind you, your attachment A's, please check the DB supplier credit. Make sure the calculations are done right. Make sure the DB section is signed and dated by the DB before you submit those documents. Very, very important. Thank you.
Great, thanks for those reminders. Ijoma is our bid letting coordinator. If you have pre-bid questions, she's a great resource. If you've got bid X questions with the program itself, Deanna Goebel, who's on Riley's team, is your go-to person to figure out any of those kind of kinks. Thank you, Ijoma. Patricia, anything you would like to add? Okay, we can come back to you. Should you have
It's been a
something?
pleasure,
Oh, sorry.
Madalena.
Yes.
It's been a pleasure working with you over the years, and good luck to everything in your future.
Oh, thanks so much. Been good working with you, and think we've got a great overall family team. So it's been wonderful. Thank you for all you have done as well. Rosalind, anything you would like to add?
I didn't know if you guys got a chance to share the flyer, because I was on and off with Tim, so I do want to kind of share it while I have it up. Please register for our annual event, February 28th and 29th, 2024. I know some of you have already done so, but we really put together a really robust program for day 1 and day 2. So we really hope you guys sign up, register. We're gonna have this posted in our newsletter when it goes out, but we also I'll also send it to Lori so she can also send it to everyone in this group so that you can register. We got our early bird rate. As usual, $99 goes to the end of January. So we hope that everyone registers and attend. It'll be a really good time. We got some PDH credits for our consultants and a banking panel for our small businesses. And we got some really good breakout sessions for our contractors and consultants and for labor. So please prepare to attend, register, get your room as soon as possible. We only have so many, but get your rooms. And if you have any questions, just send me an email or give me a call.
Great, thank you. Okay, where are we at here? Sarah?
Oh, one more
Oh.
thing, Madalena, I missed your going away, so I really want to say to the whole group, you've really been Jewel. I feel like I'm losing not a supervisor or a chief, but a friend. I really feel like I'm losing friends, so I hope that we do stay in contact, you and Naomi.
Yes, absolutely, Roz. Yes, no one here is losing my friendship. Might lose my current role, but I still got you all. Still your friend for sure. Let's all stay in touch. Okay, Sarah, how are you gonna stay in touch? Sarah, are we getting oysters with Kyle? Well, I know Sarah's trying, and she would confirm that statement wholeheartedly.
She says her mind is not.
And anyone does want to offer oysters.
I'm
in between jobs, I can probably take y'all up on. Yeah, right. I mean, the unbribable window that I have, now is the time. Okay, well, Sarah, I'm gonna imagine your input now. Feel free to drop something in the chat if you have an update from Integrity. And Tiffany, any comments, questions you have? Well, you're muted if you are trying to tell us anything.
Well, no, Tiffany is saying, sorry, my mic
Okay.
isn't working, but want to just say thank you to Madalena for being such a friendly and valuable resource for all of us, particularly some of us that were brand new to the industry. You will be very missed, but I know that you are leaving us in capable hands. Good luck on your next venture to cross paths.
Good. Thank you for that, Tiffany. Yes, our paths will cross. Tim, hello. I see you've joined us. I did make a couple notes along the way saying that if NAMAC had anything to add, please send it to Lori so that we can get that in the meeting minutes on your behalf. So please follow up with her. And then anything you'd like to add right now, you can go there as well.
Thanks so much for the tidbits, and I appreciate that provision that you made for us. I just wanted to congratulate you on a job well done and storied career. I've just been around this past year, but in this short period of time, although I might not have known you as long as other folks, there certainly have been an impact, and I've enjoyed getting to know you and working with you. And hopefully whoever comes in to fill your big shoes will continue to move the department in an upward trajectory. So on behalf of the entire DBE community, thank you for your service to WSDOT and to the DBE community. Thank you for your efforts to move the needle forward, and best wishes on this next chapter of yours being the most prosperous, healthiest, and fulfilling chapter that you've enjoyed thus far. So kudos to you on the job well done. Enjoy the hiatus before you get back into the mix of other things, and I'm sure we will continue to keep in touch in this new capacity, whatever it may be that you find yourself in. So thanks again. Great getting to know you. And I'm going to miss you around these parts, but we're going to do our best to keep it moving.
Well, thank you very much for that, Tim. And I think with you, your participation at NAMAC, I see all the possibilities that can be growing from future collaborations. So I'm glad you're there to do some steering and maybe follow up with Riley. He's offline now, but he did mention a few projects that will be coming up in lettings that are vertical focus. So we have more projects that we're looking at buildings. And so, I told him that NAMAC can be a good resource for us there because many of your members are in vertical construction. So just making sure that happens so we can get the word out to your members.
Appreciate the connection. I'll follow with both Riley and Lori.
Perfect. Great. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Natalia, any comments or questions from you?
No, ma'am, thank you.
Okay, thank you. So Alex, it's looking like you have the last word. What do you have for us, my friend?
I don't have anything. Just want to echo, even though I've been in my role for a little bit now, there's a legend that has been created about Madalena and her efforts in this space. And so I, like the rest of the folks that said, wish you good luck. I do have a question though. We are starting up our workshops, and who do I talk to about creating a profile on your website and navigating some of the lettings and maybe a 101?
Yes, let's talk about that separately so I can understand more what it is you're looking for.
Gotcha.
And put you with the right person. Okay,
All right,
thanks.
thank you.
And now I scroll back up and I see Brian Mitchell, your name has now popped up. So I want to make sure that I give you a chance to add anything you would like, sir, before we sign off.
Well, thank you. I wanted to add my voice to wishing you congratulations, and we're going to be very sorry to see you go. I've enjoyed a long history of exchanging information with you, and we're going to miss you in this position. I'm sorry I've missed the rest of the meeting, and stay in touch as you move forward.
Thank you, Brian. Appreciated your help from the beginning. For those of you who don't know, Brian was with NAMAC back in the day and was DBE. And so we had crossed paths and been partners since I took on this role, and he had a role at WISDOT as well. So, a large part of where DBE program has been able to get is through your help as well, Brian. So, it really takes all of us working together. So let's continue to do that, everybody who's here, when I'm not. And we'll continue to see, this program continue to grow and thrive and help businesses to create generational wealth, which is a major undertaking of this program. So with that, thank you all. And I will see some of you at conferences this weekend. Later this week. Okay, thank you.